Hi everyone, welcome back. I am doing 20 to 22 days of 61 days of Icad 2023. Today I'm 2020. Yeah, that's 3 cards. And I'm going to put, this is acrylic paint that I am brayering on. I put too much, so I'm using some other cards, which I will use in the next set of days. I'm just kind of just mopping up the excess paint with these cards. Today I thought I would use some texture paste because I feel like I haven't used it in a little while and I feel like I want to, but for some reason I don't. So here we are. I'm not doing it through a stencil or anything. I'm just applying it on the card and then I'm going to dry it. This one actually I used netting. My seamstress actually gave me this piece of material. I believe it reminds me of can. I don't know. I'm sure it's not a can, but it reminds me of that. But it's like netting and yeah, I think it's cool and it leaves a really nice texture on the card. It's a cool stencil. I've never used it as a stencil though, just as, you know, with the texture piece. Right, so now I'm using my Stabillo All pencil to just against the texture piece that I put down on this card. And then I'm going to activate it with water as well as intertwine the acrylic paint in with it. So today I just really, aside from being behind on my iCads, I just really needed to get some paint done. And I'm also adding some black acrylic paint to the card aside from the Stabillo All pencil. Because I wasn't going to do the black at first. I was just going to do the Stabillo All outline and just have it runny and flowing and like that. But then I thought, yeah, let's add some more black in there on this side. But we'll make it permanent by making it acrylic paint. So these are the colors that I chose today because I just felt like, you know, I was just looking at them and I was like, hey, I'll put some of this and I'll put some of this. You know, there's no reason for it. I just felt like these are the colors I'll use. And maybe I was feeling bright and happy because they look like happy colors. But I really like how this card is turning out. I'm going to put it aside to dry and then work on this one, which is not really dry as much as I would have liked. And I did try to dry it with the heat gun, but I was pressed for time, so I didn't really take my time and I didn't do it as much as I should have. For this one, instead of starting with the black, I'm just going in one time all over it with my acrylic paint. Again, I'm mixing the I'm mixing colors together. Really didn't have a plan, which is normal. I'm just adding color. For this one, I thought I would just add color in certain spaces on the card. And then let's have some drips because we like drips and I feel like I want to do more of it. So for this card, I thought I'll do some drips. And then instead of doing pink on both sides, I thought let's do a really super contrasting color, which will be black. And I thought, yeah, pink and black should be cool. I should have gone back over and done pink again, but as I said, I was pressed for time. So they didn't dry as much as I would have liked them to, so I just blasted them with the heat gun again. And now over this one, I'm adding a brush of black. My paintbrush is dry and I'm just taking it and, you know, my brush is almost horizontal to is it parallel to the page? Yeah, because I'm trying not to get it into the grooves and I really want to highlight those peaks that I created. It's so cool. I love it. It's so juicy. And then I thought, let me spread it down below so that it looks like it's, you know, it's not just sitting on top of the card. So this is my attempt at blending it in so that it becomes more part of the card than it looked before. But I'm only going to do it on this side of the card. So on the other side of the card, I don't know if you could see it very well, but when I smushed the two cards together, it left some nice juicy lines from the paint when you lifted up the card. So what I'm doing is just taking my pen, it's a Signal pen, and I'm just gently, very, very extremely gently, just highlighting some of those lines. I'm not drawing on the lines, but rather next to the lines. And I'm not pressing too hard. It's just, really, really gentle. And I'm just kind of, just highlighting them barely. So it looks, I love how it looked. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And if I pass my hand over it, I could actually feel the very slight raised effect that the paint made just from when I smushed the paint together with the two cards. For this one, I'm highlighting my texture piece because it got completely covered up. And I'm using white to highlight it. And on the other side, I'm going to use black to highlight it. And it feels so good. Y'all should try it if you haven't already. Just create that nice fine texture and then pass your hand over it. It feels amazing. So this piece of black cardstock is from something that I worked on before. And of course, I kept the bits and pieces from it because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use this on another project, of course. And I'm gonna stick it down on my right side, right center-ish, and then I'm gonna put some nice softness in the center of that. So here comes my softness. These beautiful, beautiful purple feathers. I just love them. They're so soft, like you could barely feel them. I think if my eyes were closed, I wouldn't even know that I was touching them. First, they're soft. They're just soft. Amazing. So I did 3 because you know how we feel about things in 3s. They look better for the eye. They're more, I don't know what's the word to use, but they look better. They're more pleasing. And I stapled that in just to make sure that it stays stuck. And I think I'm finished with these. I was wondering, if I should add anything else, but then I decided, nope, I'm done. It looks good. So I'm getting my words out. I'm just trying to decide how to put it, where to put it. Should I put a background on it? So I'm fiddling around with a piece of scrap card that I kept, of course, from a different project. And also with drywall tape, and I'm trying to decide if to use it, if it feels right on this card. I really did like the gold, but I felt like it didn't really belong, and if I did use it, I was going to add more gold on the card. I was going to add gold because there isn't any on the card, because, well, to help it balance or feel balanced. But then I decided, no, not going to use it. Then I thought, should I just do the drywall tape behind it? And then I was like, you know what, just color the card and then see how you feel. So I'm just going to add some of these same colors that I used on the card. And I'm going to give it a black acrylic border. And then try it again. So I chose this word for this card. This card means elegant and balanced. So I felt like the card was balanced. Is it elegant? I would not say so, but it actually feels quite tumultuous. And I actually felt that it was more, what's the word, boy? It felt on the verge of something, just didn't know what it was. So that's how that card felt to me, but I still chose Poised. For this one, I chose Moving because the card itself, it felt like it's in motion, because of how the pattern of the texture paste is. It just felt like it was in motion, and there was activity happening, and yeah, it doesn't feel like a still card. And for this one, I chose Free because of the feathers. It just, even though it's contained in that little quote-unquote box, it still feels free to me because, birds are free. At least those that are not in cages. They're supposed to be flying around and, God made them to be free. So I just felt that applied to this one. I just love those feathers. They're so cute. So that's the purpose of this word for this card. So these are my cards. I'm giving you a moving close-up once again, just so you could see all the yummy texture. It's just delicious, like mouth-watering. And you see, look at those feathers. Yeah, when I did that, I didn't even feel it. First, they're soft, but here they are. I would love to know your comments. Which one you prefer? Which one you prefer the least? And I will see you in the next video. Bye!